You just feel this way, a hollow echo behind your compassion, a quiet exhaustion that sleep never seems to touch. And tonight, under the quiet hum of this screen, we're going to expose it. We're going to pull back the curtain on the beautiful, painful, and utterly draining reality of the dark side of the empath, psychology fix. That invisible wound that drives you to feel everything so deeply, it becomes a currency you spend on everyone but yourself. You've been told your empathy is a gift, a superpower, and in the light of day, you wear that label like a medal. But here in the 2 a.m. silence, it feels more like a sentence, doesn't it? A life spent as a silent, emotional satellite, tuning into every frequency of human feeling, absorbing the static of every anxious room, the grief of every stranger, the unspoken disappointments of those you love, until your own inner world is just a ghost station playing back everyone else's broadcasts. What no one tells you is that this isn't a flaw in your character. It's a survival strategy. Your brilliant, sensitive mind, built in a world that felt too loud, too sharp, too unpredictable. A fortress you constructed not to keep people out, but to predict their storms, to placate their tides, all in a desperate, unconscious bid for safety. Let's go deeper, right now, into the very first brick of that fortress. It often starts young, so young you can't even recall the moment. A child learning that love is conditional, that a parent's mood is a weather system you must learn to forecast, that your own tears are an inconvenience, your own joy too loud, your needs a burden. So you learn the most vital lesson of all. To be safe, to be loved, you must become invisible. You must become the mirror, the sponge, the peacemaker, the one who feels what others feel, so they never have to feel uncomfortable. And in that discomfort, reject you. You feel it making sense. Already, don't you? That old, familiar ache. Pause. Notice what that just revealed in your body, that tightness in your chest, that shallow breath. Ask yourself this now. When did you first learn that your feelings were a problem to be solved? This pattern became your armor, your secret language for navigating a world that felt emotionally chaotic. And your mind, in its infinite creativity, weaponized your greatest sensitivity into your primary defense mechanism. But the dark side of this is that the armor grew inward, becoming a cage of constant vigilance, a life lived on high alert for the next emotional crisis, whether it's yours or not. But here's the truth. You are not just feeling for others. You are, in a cruel twist, often feeling instead of them, carrying their emotional baggage so they don't have to. And in doing so, you rob them of their own growth, their own resilience, and you deplete the very resources you need to live your own life. Imagine for a moment a woman named Clara, a therapist, a wonderful friend, the person everyone calls in a crisis. She could walk into a room and instantly know who was grieving, who was anxious, who was hiding a secret, and she would pour all of her energy into holding space, into fixing, into soothing, until she'd return home to her empty apartment feeling like a shell, utterly numb, scrolling through her phone, looking at the lives of the people she'd helped, wondering why their happiness felt like a personal failure, and why her own life felt like a movie she was only watching. You've felt this before, haven't you? That eerie numbness after a day of giving everything away. Let's go deeper into the mechanics of this, into the hidden emotional triggers that keep you locked in this cycle. It's not just about feeling someone's pain. It's about a deep, neurological fear of conflict, of abandonment, of the terrifying void you perceive in someone's displeasure, their sadness, their anger, which your nervous system interprets not as their emotion, but as a direct threat to your own stability and worth. Your body can't tell the difference between their emotional emergency and a physical threat to your life. Your cortisol spikes, your heart rate quickens. Your body is flooded with the same stress chemicals as if you were facing a predator. And so you are in a constant state of fight or flight. But the predator is a frown, a sigh, a passive-aggressive text message, an unspoken tension in a room you just walked into. This is the invisible tax you pay every single day, the physiological cost of living with the radar always on, scanning, assessing, absorbing, and it's why you are so tired. Why you crave solitude but then feel lonely within it. Because even alone, the radar is still humming, processing, worrying, anticipating the next emotional demand. Pause, just for a breath. Notice the weight of that, the sheer physical burden of all that sensing. Ask yourself this now. Whose disappointment feels most dangerous to you? And see what name, what face appears in your mind. This trigger is the first domino, the one that sets off the entire chain reaction, leading you to pour your energy into the cracked vessels of other people's lives while your own garden withers from neglect. And it's this cycle we will begin to dismantle with our first weapon, the weapon of energetic sovereignty. Because your energy is not an infinite resource, it is your life force, and it is time to reclaim it. Step 1. Recognize the trigger. This is the moment of impact. The split second you feel that familiar swoosh of your energy being pulled out of you. The hook that catches in your chest when someone starts venting. The tension in your shoulders when you walk into a charged room. The compulsive need to check your phone for a message. It's ... A physical sensation before it's a thought. A tightening, a draining, a slight dizzying feeling of leaving your own body. Step 2. Reframe the story. The old story you tell yourself in that moment is, I have to fix this, or their pain is my responsibility, or if I don't absorb this, they will leave me. But here's the new story, the true story. This is not my emotion to carry. I can have compassion without taking on their burden. Their discomfort is not my emergency. I am safe in my own body, even when others are not okay. Step 3. Replace the pattern. In that moment of recognition, instead of leaning in, instead of offering more, you take a silent internal step back. You visualize a shield of clear light around you, not a wall to block out love, but a filter that lets compassion flow through while trapping the toxic energy. And you consciously plant your feet on the ground. Take one deep breath into your belly and whisper to yourself, I am here. I am safe. My energy is my own. You feel the shift even now just reading that. A slight loosening, a potential for space. This is the foundation, the first act of rebellion against the tyrant of over-empathy. And it's from this place of reclaimed energy that we can look at the second, more insidious part of the pattern, the loss of self. When you are a mirror for everyone else, you lose the reflection of your own face. Your own desires become mysterious, your opinions malleable, your preferences vague. Because for so long, your only preference has been for peace, for the absence of the emotional storms you are so adept at calming. Let's go deeper into this void where your self was meant to be. It's not that you don't have a self, it's that it's buried under a mountain of shoulds and supposed tos, of curated reactions and anticipated needs of others. And the quiet terror that lives underneath is the fear that if you were to stop, if you were to truly feel what you feel, want what you want, the whole carefully constructed world would collapse and you would be alone, exposed as the fraud you suspect you are, someone who doesn't actually know who they are. This is where we meet Leo, a musician who could play any request, who could sense the mood of his audience and shape his entire set list to please them, but who in his own studio felt completely empty, staring at a blank sheet of music, unable to write a single authentic note because he had no idea what sound belonged to him, what melody was his own soul's voice, and not just an echo of what he thought others wanted to hear. His identity had become a collage of other people's expectations, and the center was a silent, gaping hole. You've felt this hollow center, haven't you? The terrifying question of, what do I want, that seems to have no answer. Pause, and don't try to answer it now. Just notice the silence or the chaos that greets the question. Ask yourself this now. If no one would be disappointed, what is one tiny thing you would do differently tomorrow? This loss of self is the great silent tragedy of the empathic mind, but it is not permanent. And it is to this we apply our second weapon, the weapon of authentic voice. Because your voice, your true preference, is not gone, it is only waiting for permission to whisper again. Step 1. Recognize the trigger. This shows up as a profound sense of confusion when asked for your opinion. A default to, I don't know, or whatever you want. A feeling of being a ghost in your own life. Watching yourself make choices that don't quite feel like your own. A lingering sense of inauthenticity, even in your happiest moments, as if you're following a script written by someone else. Step 2. Reframe the story. The old story is, my needs are a burden, or my truth will upset people, or it's selfish to put myself first. But the new liberating story is this. My authenticity is my greatest gift to the world. My preferences matter. My voice has value. Taking up space is not an act of aggression. It is an act of existence. Step 3. Replace the pattern. This begins in the smallest of ways, in the daily micro choices you make. When someone asks where you want to eat, instead of saying, I don't care, you force yourself to pick a place, any place. Even if you're not sure, you commit to a choice. You practice stating a preference for a movie, for a color, for a side of the bed. You start a private journal where you write down your raw, unfiltered reactions to things, without the fear of anyone reading it. You rebuild the muscle of self-knowledge, one rep at a time, and you learn, slowly, to tolerate the discomfort of potentially disappointing someone, because that discomfort is the price of your soul. You're starting to see it. Now, how the cage was built, and more importantly, you're seeing the key in your own hand. But the work doesn't stop at reclaiming your energy and your voice, because the dark side of the empath has one more cruel trick. It turns your greatest strength, your depth of feeling, into a source of profound isolation, a sense of being perpetually misunderstood, because no one can possibly feel the world as acutely, as painfully, as beautifully as you do. And so you stop trying to explain. You retreat into the fortress of your own sensitivity, which becomes a very beautiful, very lonely prison. This is the martyrdom of the empath, the silent bargain you make. I will carry everyone's pain, but I will never ask anyone to carry mine. And so your own pain compounds in the silence, turning into resentment, into a bitter pill you swallow every day, wondering why no one notices the weight you are carrying, why no one offers to lighten the load that you so willingly take from them. Let's go deeper into this particular heartache. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. By not asking for help, by not showing your vulnerability, you train the people in your life to believe you are the strong one, the pillar, the one who doesn't need support. And then you resent them for believing the facade you so meticulously maintain. It's a perfect, painful trap of your own making. But here's the truth. Vulnerability is not a weakness for you. It is the ultimate strength, the master key that unlocks the prison door. This is where Elara's story unfolds. A woman who was the rock for her entire family, who managed her parents' finances, her sister's divorce, her friends' career crises, all with a serene smile, while inside she was drowning in a sea of her own unspoken grief over a lost pregnancy. A grief she felt was too heavy to burden anyone with, until one day her body forced the issue and she collapsed, not from illness, but from the sheer physical weight of all the unshed tears and unspoken pleas for help. In the hospital, a friend simply sat with her, held her hand, and didn't try to fix anything. And in that space of silent received compassion, Elara realized she had never given anyone the chance to love her in her brokenness, only in her strength. Pause. Feel the truth of that ache of wanting to be seen in your pain, not just in your power. Ask yourself this now. What is one thing you are carrying right now that you have been too afraid to share? This isolation is the final barrier to true connection, and it is the very thing we will shatter with our third weapon, the weapon of vulnerable communion, because your healing and the end of the dark side of the empath pattern tonight lies not in feeling less, but in sharing more of what you feel. Step 1. Recognize the trigger. This is the moment you feel the wall go up. The moment you paste on, the "I'm fine" smile when you are crumbling inside, the instinct to retreat and handle it alone, the belief that your pain is too dark, too messy, too much for anyone else to handle, the pride that masquerades as protection. Step 2. Reframe the story. The old isolating story is, "I must be strong for everyone," or "no one could understand this," or "asking for help makes me a burden." The new connecting story is this: "My vulnerability is an invitation for true intimacy. Sharing my pain is an act of trust and strength. I allow others the gift of giving to me. I am worthy of support exactly as I am." Step 3. Replace the pattern. This requires a conscious, courageous practice of reaching out, not to vent or drain, but to connect. It starts with one person you trust, and it starts with a small, manageable truth. Instead of saying, "I'm fine," you practice saying, "It's been a hard day, actually," or "I'm feeling a little overwhelmed," or "Can I just talk to you for a minute? I don't need advice, I just need to be heard." You learn to make specific requests. "Can I have a hug?" Or "Can you just sit with me for a while?" You allow yourself to be witnessed in your not okayness. And in doing so, you break the spell of isolation and discover that you are not alone in your depth. This is where the transformation truly begins, in the messy, beautiful, reciprocal exchange of human feeling. But we have one final frontier to cross, the realm of psychic boundaries, because without them, all the work we've done can be undone in a single encounter with a draining person or a chaotic environment. Your sensitivity means you are porous. You absorb the energy around you like skin absorbs sunlight. And without conscious filters, you absorb the toxic radiation along with the light. Let's go deeper into the art of the boundary, not as a wall, but as a membrane. A boundary is not a rejection of others, it is a first affirmation of yourself. It is the conscious decision of what you allow into your energetic and emotional space. And for the empath, this is not a luxury, it is as essential as oxygen. The old model was to let everything in, then collapse from the poisoning. The new model is to be the conscious gatekeeper of your own soul. This is our fourth and final weapon, the weapon of conscious containment. The master practice that allows you to move through the world without being constantly derailed by it. Step 1. Recognize the trigger. This is the feeling of being emotionally hijacked after an interaction. The lingering anxiety or anger or sadness that you know isn't yours. The physical drain after being with certain people. The sense of having your mood dictated by the external world. The compulsive need to people please in order to stabilize your own internal environment. Step 2. Reframe the story. The old, permeable story is, "I have to be open to everyone and everything," or "setting a boundary is mean," or "I can handle it." The new empowered story is, "My peace is my priority. I choose what I engage with. I protect my energy so I have more to give from a place of abundance, not depletion." A no to others is often a yes to myself. Step 3. Replace the pattern. This is both an internal and external practice. Internally, you practice the cord-cutting visualization. After a draining interaction, imagine a cord of energy connecting you to that person, and with love and intention, visualize severing that cord, seeing their energy return to them and yours return to you. Externally, you practice preemptive boundaries. You decide before you walk into a family gathering, "I will stay for 2 hours," or you tell a friend who tends to trauma dump, "I really care about you, and I can listen for the first 20 minutes, but then I need to shift the topic to something lighter for my own well-being." You learn to leave situations when your energy starts to drop, without needing a good enough excuse. You become the guardian of your own inner sanctuary. You feel it making sense already. This architecture of self-protection. This reclaiming of your space, your energy, your voice, your connection. This is the integration. The moment the wounded empath transforms into the conscious, empowered one. The one who feels deeply, not as a curse, but as a profound connection to the pulse of life itself. Who uses their gifts not to serve from emptiness, but to give from overflow. The pattern is broken not by becoming cold or hard or less feeling, but by becoming more discerning, more intentional, more sovereign over the vast and beautiful landscape of your own heart. The three stories we walked through: Clara reclaiming her energy, Leo finding his voice, Ilera embracing her vulnerability. They are all facets of you, chapters in your own story that is now being rewritten. This is your invitation to stop being a secret martyr for a world that doesn't know it's asking for such a sacrifice, and to start being a conscious, joyful, boundaried, and deeply connected human being. One who feels everything, but is no longer defined or derailed by it. The dark side of the empath was always just the shadow cast by a brilliant, unintegrated light. It was the part of you that learned to feel in the dark, but now you are learning to feel in the dawn. You are not broken, you are awakening. And this awakening is not a one-time event, but a daily practice, a gentle returning to yourself, a remembering that your sensitivity is your strength, your boundaries are your freedom, and you're vulnerable. Authentic heart is the most compelling narrator of your own life. So as this silence settles around you, and the hum of the world feels a little more distant, know that the work is done for now. The seed is planted, the path is clear, and the next step, the first real step of your new life, is simply to breathe, to feel your own presence in this room, solid and real and entirely your own, and to know, with a certainty that goes deeper than any fear, that you are finally, completely home.